What is going on, my beautiful Irish people? We are back once again with County Gains News Media Network. Of course, we're going to be talking all things politics over this side, guys. We're about to hit 100,000 subscribers, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. And let's get into the video, guys. So today we have another, of course, beautiful video from Gripped Media. This one is a senator in the Dáil, and he says that top Garda roles should be filled by Irish citizens. So he says that no country in the world would ever employ a foreign national to head up their state security service. Okay, probably because obviously, you know, they don't want people spying on the secrets of the Irish, you know, government or whatever. So, and before we get into this one, guys, let's address the elephant in the room. We got my new trusty hat here, man, which I'll be wearing probably every single time we talk about, you know, shady Irish government deals and, you know, political stuff in this country, because, you know, we're obviously, you know, very, very big targets when it comes to, you know, a lot of, you know, tracking and surveillance. Okay, of course, when you start reacting to political drama in this country, you get a lot of heat on you guys, as I have gotten, and I'll explain that in an upcoming video. So yeah, man, we're wearing this hat. It has tin foil and steel wrapped around it, so the government can't steal my brainwaves, guys. All right, let's get into this one, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, like I said, and let's go.
There's been some controversy recently.
Hold up.
Where the new deputy commissioner for the Garda Síochána, who's a Canadian national, has had part of her brief removed by Garda Commissioner Drew Harris when it relates to state security, and this was specifically because it was reasoned by some people within the Department of Justice and state security apparatus that it would be inappropriate to have somebody who is not a citizen of the country overseeing matters of critical state security. Would you have any particular thoughts on that yourself?
Look, when this position was advertised, when none of our assistant or deputy Garda commissioners were available because of the fact that the pension scheme for existing Gardaí makes it prohibitive to seek a senior post like deputy commissioner, so they advertised.
But that's so stupid. Like, why would the pension scheme be, you know, for the actual serving members? That's so weird.
It internationally, and at that time I warned in the Senate that no country anywhere would employ a foreign national to head up their state security service.
Yeah, like China wouldn't, you know, hire a flipping American guy, and America, the CIA or whatever, you know, the flipping FBI and all these type of organizations wouldn't employ Chinese people because they're stealing secrets from each other, and Russia and vice versa, guys. You know, they're all stealing secrets from each other. This is extremely important, guys, you know, because obviously we have secrets of our own in the government that need to be kept. Okay, now I don't think any government should, you know, be keeping secrets from the people in terms of surveillance. Hence the hat, guys, okay? This hat is going to prevent me from being a flipping target in the future, okay? And, you know, stuff like that, guys, you know, there should be no secrets held, but at the same time, definitely they shouldn't be held by foreign, you know, nationals that are loyal to other countries, you see?
At that time I was castigated by one of my colleagues in the Senate who told me I didn't understand equality law.
This was Senator Mary Siri Kearney, would I be right in saying?
Yeah, Mary Siri Kearney said I didn't understand equality law, and that anybody applying for the post was entitled to a fair and open interview, and at the end of the interview the best person would be selected. That's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't apply to security positions. A security position is probably one of the most important positions in the state, and it should be an Irish national, the holder of an Irish passport, a person who was born and reared in this country that fills.
Born and reared in Ireland. And yeah, that's the thing, guys. Now, I was not born here, moved here when I was 6, guys. Of course, my whole family is Irish. But at the same time, guys, I am loyal to Ireland. Okay, we got the Irish flags. I'm not a plant, don't worry. Anyone asking? People say I'm a plant. I'm not. I'm on our side. But at the same time, guys, obviously you should have a passport. You should have these type of things that go along with the country, you know, and probably, you know, born here at least under the age of flipping 15, you know, or whatever, or at least under the age of 8 or 12. You know, that's kind of like the cutoffs. You know, I think for a lot of countries for like nationality and stuff like that.
that post.
And why is it that you feel that way specifically? I'm sure there's many people who would agree with you given the controversy around this, but just to articulate for somebody like Senator Kearney, who might say, oh, well, sure, look, we just want the best person for the job. Why does it matter where they're from?
Of course we want the best person for the job. Would the British, for example, appoint a United States citizen to the head of MI5 or MI6? Would the French appoint a British citizen to the head of their intelligence service? No, they wouldn't. The bottom line on it is a national security position. It is the most senior position in the country where they have access to all of the information on many.
Yeah, it's a national security threat, guys. You know what I mean? If the British hire a flippin' Russian guy or a Chinese guy, they're going to be feeding information back to flippin' China or Russia. I mean, it's not always the case, but they could be much more easily manipulated, let's say, than a citizen. Probably. I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there. Probably not, but at the same time, guys, probably, because they're going to be manipulated, saying that they're loyal to them, this type of thing. That's how this is a good way, this is actually a good way to tell people. That's actually a really easy way to radicalize someone, guys, is if you're from a different country and people back in your original country are feeding you information, radicalizing you. That's what happened recently with the Galway stabbing. The guy got radicalized by, certain flipping ISIS members and terrorists from other countries. So that's how they radicalize you guys,
Citizens in the state, and it would be wrong to share that with a foreign national. And irrespective, I remember at the time being told, the person will take an oath to the state. People take oaths every day of the week down in the forecourts. Some of them are true and some of them are not.
Do you think that it shows a lack of seriousness when it comes to our national security that a measure like this would be considered, that we would have a non-national running our intelligence service effectively, and then we also see things like the fact that the British Air Force is essentially protecting Irish airspaces and so on. Do you think there's a lack of seriousness in the way we run national security in this country?
1000%, guys. Having the British run your national security is like having, your former ruler run your country. It's just crazy, guys. Like, did they allow this? And we should have our own fighter pilots and fighter jets and stuff like that. We should have our own military that's built up, as much as the British or the US or whatever, guys. And if we need to get funding from other places, then let's do it,
Yeah, firstly on the RAF thing, I can't really comment on that. I'm in the middle of a High Court case and it's sub judice at the moment, so enough said on that. But I will say this, the fact that the senior appointments people appointed a foreign national to head up our security services, our intelligence service, shows a total lack of understanding of the security of the state, the defence of the state. And if we look where we stand today with respect to our defence forces is in a state of collapse. The army has fallen below 6,500. The Air Corps is
6,500, bro. We need to start recruiting some people. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to start recruiting some people. Jesus. 6,000, man. I don't even think we should recruit people. We should just give guns to everyone like in Switzerland, and then the country is pretty much untouchable, guys. Just have everyone do a 1 year, not mandatory service, but 1 year just training, that people can go, and it'll be like a fun thing, but you do a little bit of training, a little bit of, military tactics, and then we'll be able to defend ourselves forever, guys. Okay, right now, we are sitting ducks, guys. Right off the coast, we have Russia always swimming by us in their submarines, and we're a crazy target. We are like the easiest target in the whole flipping world, guys.
Not fit for purpose. In the Navy, we have one ship protecting our economic zone. It's totally and utterly unforgivable where we have found ourselves. And, the people inside here in government buildings can fob off these things and say that people like me are talking down the security situation of the country. I'm not the one responsible for the situation we're in. I'm not the one who's sitting in a ministerial office knowing that there is one ship and one ship alone able to protect our coast on a 24-hour-a-day basis. We are now the open door for drugs to come into Europe, for people trafficking. Anything you want, the West Coast is open. Come and enjoy it. It's there for any criminal that wants to use it.
Uh-oh. I'm in the West Coast. Jesus. We're going to have flipping Colombian cartels showing up on the flipping west coast there down in Spittle or something. Oh Jesus, oh Lord, Lord, England, please come save us, Big Daddy England. And then we have like people saying, oh sure, America will protect us. Like, please, Big Daddy America, please remember your Irish heritage, come back and save us. I mean, this is just wishful thinking, guys. You know, there's this famous phrase that no one is coming to save you, guys. And individuals, nobody is coming to save you. But also as a community, no one's coming to save you. As a country, nobody is coming to save us. You know, we don't know violence in this country. We know it from fighting off the British, but that's about it, guys. We've never been to war with these places, and you know, that's a good thing. We shouldn't be starting false wars in the Middle East like the Americans do and stuff. But at the same time, guys, like, we need to build up our defenses. We are sitting ducks, guys. You know what I mean? We can't just have Rambo, like one guy running around the place fighting off invaders. That's not how it works, man. Like, we need a proper, you know, collective army or whatever. You know, 6,500 members. Jesus, that's nothing. That is nothing, guys. You know?
Any rogue state that wants to use it. We have not taken security and defence seriously. We've hidden behind the nonsense notion that we're a neutral state and everybody loves us.
I want to say this forever, and everyone to know this. Neutrality is not a thing in the world, guys. The history of the world has just been violence put upon people. You know, when the monks in the monasteries, you know, said, we're neutral, we're not going to harm anybody. You know what the Vikings and the Normans and everyone did? They ran across, they killed, beheaded all the men, and then they just attacked and, you know, let's say, slept with all the women, but not with their consent, okay? So, and then that's how they kind of kept going as a country. So the history of the world is a very violent place, and when you say you're neutral, it doesn't mean anything, guys. It just means you cannot fight, and you're a sitting duck, and you're just lame, and you can't protect yourself. Nobody in the world is like when they say, oh no, women are innocent and stuff, and then they go and kill them. That's not, they should arm the women with guns and shit to protect themselves, guys. Nobody in this world is neutral. It doesn't matter who you are, guys. Unfortunately, that's just a sick reality of the world. That's why we have to protect, you know, people that are vulnerable. But at the same time, guys, most men and women can't protect themselves. You know, nobody is neutral in this world. If you think that you're not entitled to have violence put upon you by some psychopath, then you're an idiot, guys. You are the idiot, bro. You understand? Neutrality doesn't exist in this world, okay? Pillaging and taking over land is what the world has been always done. And, you know, the people with the best military run the world. That's why America runs the world right now. You understand? You know, so, and people can say that they don't, but, you know, they have stuff to take out nuclear weapons. They have the best, you know, military defense system in the world. You know, they can spot flipping nuclear bombs and annihilate them, you know, over in China. So we don't have any neutrality, guys. We need to really start ramping up defenses, and not in a fearful way, guys, but just, you know, in a sort of at least in the minimum way possible. You know, arming people with the flipping, you know, everyone gets a flipping M16 for Christmas.
And if we didn't even learn from the Health Service executive attack some years ago that security and the protection of the citizens of this state is the most important role for any government.
I think that Health Services attack, I think that was actually in Galway. Some guy just got a phishing email. He just literally clicked on opened the email, and the entire database of the NHS or whatever we have, NHS in Ireland, was taken over by a Russian person. Like, it was so easily attacked, man. The cybersecurity in this country is a joke. Employ County Gains to retake back that cybersecurity.
What would you say to somebody who argued that it's sort of it would be a waste of resources for us to invest heavily in our military and national defense because, of course, you referenced the cyber attack and that.
The only reason why we're not invaded is because we have a defense forces, guys. You know, places just get taken over. When you say, oh no, I'm neutral, that's when they come and attack you. Historically, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you say you're neutral and we don't have any. That's it, guys. You're a sitting duck. You always have to be violent. Why do you think people respect big, strong, tough guys that do MMA, jiu-jitsu, UFC? Because they know they can fend off attackers. Why do you think women like that? Why do you think people respect that? Okay, it's not because they're doing it for fun. These people are doing it for self-defense, guys. You understand? You know, and money, of course, nowadays. But historically, it's always been about self-defense, right?
That, I believe, was Eastern European criminals as opposed to a state actor. But then when it comes to the geopolitical situation, no one's going to attack Ireland. You know, we're not in the crosshairs of any major powers that might want to invade us. There would probably be some people who would argue that side of it. What would you say to that?
Well, the first thing I would say is that nonsense
That's like wishful thinking, guys. Oh, please, nobody attack me. Like, I'm just not going to be prepared. Like, you always be prepared. That's why they always say, guys, you know, certain things like, I'd rather be, you know, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, right? That means, like, I'd rather go to court over my actions of defending myself, you know, ultimately, than be in the ground, okay? That's basically what people should be looking at this situation about, guys.
Argument that's put forward, what money we have we should be putting into housing, health, etc. We are putting billions into health, billions into housing. The Finns, a country roughly the same size as ours, with roughly the same population, roughly the same GDP, they are heavily armed. Why are they heavily armed? Because they have a very nasty neighbour on their doorstep. And people say, well, Ireland doesn't have that. Well, there are no borders in cyberspace. And every day of the week, this country is attacked several times, sometimes thousands of times a day, by cyber criminals. Whether they're state-sponsored or not, it makes no difference. There are a number of legs to our defence and security. You have land, you have sea, you have air, you have space, and you have cyber. And it doesn't matter which one of them you have to put money in. Bear in mind, the government is soon to introduce a budget in this country which will show that we have had billions of a surplus to our trade this year. And it'll be clapping ourselves on the back. Many of those billions comes from foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investors will not stay in a state that is unsafe, and we are becoming unsafe. Thousands and thousands of gigabytes of data are passing through the Irish economic zone every single minute of every single day, and nobody seems to give a continental damn in this country.
He's talking about Google data centers, I believe. You know, and if any of those were ever to become attacked, or let's say, you know, there's like crazy stuff happening, so some crazy stuff could happen in Ireland. I don't know. It could do. I mean, we're not immune to that kind of stuff. But if it ever does affect money and business, sure, all the Americans will just pull out, guys. And then what are we going to say? Oh, well, you know, then we need to build up our defense forces. We need to be proactive, guys. You know, not reactive. You know what I mean?
The Gardaí protect the cables under the sea.
Yeah.
They don't go to sea. The Navy have no role there. You know, we're in a situation at this stage where we really need to stop, get off the stupid track we're on, that we're neutral and everybody loves us, and actually...
That is just the dumbest. When I hear people say that, oh, I'm a pacifist, I'm neutral, that all that means is you're a target and a victim. That's literally all that means. You are a victim and a target, and you're going to be hurt eventually. Eventually it happens, guys. You know, if you guys ever had older brothers and you're like, no, I don't want to fight, eventually they just start bullying you. In school, guys, the only way you'd prevent bullies is if you fought them. That's the only way they stopped. You know, that's the only way it worked for me in college. I had to fight people that were talking shit. Like, I literally had to go in and fight people in the cafeteria, like a psycho. But then nobody said shit to me ever again, guys. You know what I mean? And I will just fight if some guy's talking shit, right? So that's the only way to prevent a bully or someone doing some crazy shit. Like, if you guys would just, you know, let people keep attacking you or just let it slide, eventually you will get, you know, hurt, you know?
We get serious about security and defence. Our population deserve nothing less.
Recently, the Gardaí were saying how drug seizures are massively up in the last number of months, and that they were hailing this as a great sign that the current approach is successful and working, that they are cracking down on these criminal organisations that are trying to bring drug shipments in. In your personal view, do you think that's a consequence of the system working, or do you think it's that there's so much drugs being brought into the country by volume that we're only catching more of it?
What I would say to you is the Gardaí are 100% correct. Their intelligence systems are working really, really well. And if you look at the number of drug seizures there has been in recent times, it's a credit to the Gardaí. I have no problem whatsoever in giving them fair credit for what they're doing. If we look at the recent seizure of a ship off the southwest coast, and we look at the appalling situation where our Ranger wing were forced to use just one helicopter to capture a ship that was bringing 600 million euros worth of drugs into this country, when you would have required two helicopters, one with snipers on board and one for the fast roping operation, we put soldiers' lives at risk.
This guy's badass. Was this guy in the flipping army? Jared Crockwell. He said we needed one helicopter for snipers to cover them as that they were fast roping. Oh yeah, because if you have no cover fire, then you're kind of a sitting duck as you're boarding the ship, right? But listen, man, I'm a military analyst, okay? So that's pretty crazy, actually. That is a good point, you know.
That particular interdiction scenario. So we need to get real about it. We were lucky in that case, and that's all we were. We were lucky. So the Gardaí with one hand tied behind their back, the Defence Forces with both hands tied behind their back are doing an incredible job. The problem we have is not the Gardaí or the Defence Forces. The problem we have lies inside in government buildings here, where, for example, Gardaí are leaving in their droves because the pension scheme since 2013 makes it unviable to have it as a career. The Defence Forces are leaving in droves because the 2013 pension scheme has made it unviable as a career. We've been saying this to government ministers. We've been announcing this for 10 years. Nobody is listening. Nobody seems to believe that the damage that has been done to the pension schemes of public servants is going to cost this state billions in years to come. Young Gardaí, young Defence Force people who are doing a fantastic job are being forced out of their job. So we don't take security seriously, and if we did, we'd sit down and look at the actual problems that are causing people to leave, and we would do something about it.
Damn, very well said, Senator Gerard Crachwell. Yeah, that was amazing, guys. Absolutely unbelievable. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. I mean, you know, the national security is a massive problem. We've been talking about this for years, guys. Ever since that Russian, you know, what you call it, submarine was sort of lurking off the coast there at Kerry, and then you had basically people, you know, fishermen going out to where it was and, you know, supposedly kind of trying to push it away. That'll only work for so long, guys. You know, there will become a point where people will start to abuse their power and countries will start to see Ireland as a bit of a sitting target, and it will get hit, bro. 100%. I said this 10 years ago, guys. I'm a flippin'... And people think, oh no, Ireland will never get hit. You know, we're neutral and all this stuff. Guys, let me tell you something, man. In this world, you are never neutral. You know, you are never neutral for any threat or any attack. You know, you're just a victim. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all. Smash that subscribe button. We're about to hit 100K. Let me know in the comments what you guys want me to talk about. You know, what other kind of subjects you want me to talk about in the Irish government. Of course, I gotta wear my hat from now on because, you know what I mean, we're being surveillanced, guys. Is all I'm gonna say. We're being watched, okay, by people, and very, very, you know, serious, guys. So I'll talk about that in another video. I love you all, and I'll see you guys then, man. Peace. Stay free. Peace.